Okay, so today we are cooking zucchini and carrot pasta, kind of a vegetarian or even vegan dish. This will be primarily vegetarian, but note there's a lot of variation that you can do with this. You can add meat, you could add loose burger or turkey meatballs, or you could add chunks of chicken, or even a can of tuna if you have that on hand, if you do need meat with it. Otherwise, it's pretty darn good without anything else. Just think of this like normal pasta. Pasta with spaghetti sauce, or pasta with a lemon zest, or even you could make an Alfredo type pasta with this. So the base ingredients are what you see here. Carrots, zucchinis. I actually use about 2 zucchinis in the meal, and 2 to 3 carrots at least. Some tomatoes, I'll use a couple tomatoes, a lemon or 2, some garlic to throw in the sauce, and onion to make the sauce. You just want to start off and dice up your tomatoes, dice up your onion, and dice up some garlic. And then we'll throw that in a pan and cook it up as a sauce for later. Now, if you don't have time to make the sauce, or you don't want the sauce like that, you can always just dice up some tomato at the end and put it in there for flavor, or you can exclude it altogether. But in this version, I'll be making the sauce for it as well. So the other thing you might want to have on hand are some good seasonings. Now, the go-to is obviously just some salt and pepper. I use a lot more garlic salt than regular salt, but that's just a preference. So salt and pepper will go good on this. And there's a lot of variations if you have on hand, grilling seasonings and mixes, but anything that's kind of a salt-pepper base will be good on the zucchini. Another key ingredient is rosemary. Rosemary is really good in the pasta, and when you're adding the lemon zest, whether you're having it like regular spaghetti style or just lemon zest style, you're probably going to want to put in some rosemary. It makes a really good flavor. Lastly, when you're making your pasta sauce, some sort of Italian seasoning, oregano, some sort of mix like that will add a lot of good flavor to your pasta sauce. So those are the key spices I'd say have on hand for this particular meal. To start off making the sauce, I just put some coconut oil in the pan. I dice up the garlic and let it start to cook. And then I'll throw in the tomatoes, onions, and the spices last. Okay, so now I'm just cooking up those ingredients. The garlic, tomatoes, onions, and there's some seasoning in there. I'm about to pull it off, and I'm just going to put it to the side in this pot while I'm waiting. Okay, so now we're just preparing the zucchini. What will be the noodles, but they'll be veggie noodles. And as you can see, there's some already on the plate there. I find it easiest to take the zucchini and actually go down probably a quarter, leave a quarter left. So you can actually hold this when you're using this type of spiralini, which is what I have. It's just kind of a cheap small guy, which makes more sense if you're doing this off-grid or camping or something like that. So, yeah, I think this was just a couple bucks. Great little device for making these spiral, looks like spaghetti, and veggies. And now, we also do carrots in ours. So yeah, you can get some pretty quick and easy spiral pasta, veggie pasta this way. For us, it's say a 2-person meal, 2 large servings. But then we also share with the dogs, so you might think of this as maybe more than 2 servings. It's at least 3, most of our meals. So, I mean, that is, we always use 2 full zucchinis and probably about 2 full carrots. Carrot size varies a lot. So I'm thinking of just your normal size carrot. At least 2 of each would be necessary for a meal of 2 to 3. And then, yeah, we just dice up the remainder that doesn't spiral. To start the zucchini and carrot pasta, I just put in this couple of spoonfuls of oil. In this case, I'm using coconut oil. And then, yeah, I'll just throw the pasta in, and that's all you really need, which is nice because then if you're at camp, you don't have to waste a lot of your precious water on cooking the noodles. All right, so there's that veggie pasta just cooking along. And it's probably only been on cooking for about, I don't know, 10 minutes. It doesn't take very long for it to start to get pretty soft. I mean, this is veggies, right? Not pasta. So it cooks a lot faster. Another plus of this meal. The chunks now that are in there of carrot and zucchini will take a little longer, but you can kind of let it cook as long as you desire. Cooking veggies less can be good, as to not overcook them and cook out nutrients. You could steam vegetables as well and put them in here, and that'd probably be pretty good. Another little side tip for this meal is if you are doing it on a vegetarian-style dish, but you'd still like to have some protein in it, consider, like I said, something like beans or lentils. You could just add a little bit in there and get a little protein with your meal as well to make it ultra nutritious. Alright, and time for those seasonings. Like I said, a little salt, pepper, some rosemary, maybe a decent amount of rosemary. Makes it taste pretty good. And you're all set. Alright, at this point you can go ahead and dice a lemon up and put some lemon zest sprinkled in here. Now in my case, I'm going to wait and do this at the end just on my plate because the dogs don't really need it, but also Ramsey does not really like the lemon as much as I do, so I put a heck of a lot more on mine and not as much throughout the whole dish. But yeah, if you like it, go ahead and sprinkle your lemon juice in there now.
Alrighty, Mama Fairy is going to town on the pasta noodles.
Pasta noodles!
And for those of you who have made it this far and realized that this was actually a cucumber, good job. We already
spiraled the zucchinis until we had a cucumber left. And I thought that would give the visual element of the zucchini. So, gotcha!
Thanks for sticking with us, guys. Good job.
Okay, so now that you have your plate served, you can just put on your lemon zest at the end if you haven't already done so. And that makes it taste really good. Ramsey's just going to put like one little bit on his, and I'll use pretty much the rest of the lemon on mine because I love it. It is really good. Then we'll put some topper on there. Alright, there's the finished product. Zucchini, carrots, tomatoes, onions, some beans or lentils in there. All kinds of nutritious goodness. And a pretty low-cost meal. And great to have at camp because those carrots and zucchini ingredients will last for a couple days in. A couple weeks in, actually, in some cases. What do you think?
It's amazing.
Alright. Alright, Kluwani Dog just finished his veggie noodles. And he helps us out by being cleanup. Clean those dishes, boy. Good boy. So yeah, I got a cleanup crew now. This guy and this guy. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed that recipe. Cheap, nutritious, and pretty versatile. So make it your own. Let me know if you make any cool adjustments. I'd love to consider them in my next meal. Otherwise, I'll be bringing another recipe meal soon. On the channel, I plan to do a lot of different recipe meals to show you, primarily focus on things that are good at camp, but also just things that are really tasty, things that are cheap, things that make good ingredients at camp, and ways to keep you at camp longer, to keep you off grid longer. Because one of our biggest challenges is trying to keep ingredients that perish. And that doesn't work if you plan on being off grid for a while. So, we've found a way to use a lot of less perishable or non-perishable ingredients and still get our nutrition and still have delicious meals, whether it's campfire or cook stove. So stay tuned, and thanks for being here.